Good day and welcome to a new set of videos for a new module. And this module is entitled Leadership Change in Workplace Relationships. It also covers innovation. And so that's going to be the focus of this module. It is a core module, which means that a lot of the other learning is built on top of this. So, leadership, change, workplace relationships, as well as innovation. So, we're going to be covering all of that. I'm going to show you the full list of the syllabus so that you can have an understanding of where we're going. So you'll see theories relating to leadership, strategies for workplace relationships, innovation, and then change management. Okay, so obviously, guys, there's a lot of change management happening at the moment. So we're going to need to be able to implement change. We need to be innovative and creative in the way that we deal with what we're dealing with. We also need to take incredible leadership to be able to navigate our way through what we are currently facing and all the challenges that come with it, and workplace relationships. When things are new, when things are changing, then don't be surprised if there is conflict. And so we need to be able to work with conflict. We need to make sure that we have constructive engagements with our work teammates. So how do we get that done? So those are the four things we're going to be focusing on: leadership, workplace relationships, innovation, and change management. So let's not waste any time. Let us start moving through the syllabus. Okay, so let's take a look at what are the elements of leadership. How do we know that someone is actually leading or actually making sure that they are going about the process of leadership? The first thing that they do is they influence. Okay, so influencing is number one. Motivating, setting expectations, creating vision, and guiding people towards vision. So there's a lot of definitions of leadership, and they will probably cover most of these different issues that leadership entails: influencing, motivating, creating expectations. Setting expectations, creating a vision, and then guiding those towards a vision. So, one of the most frequently used definitions of leadership is taking a group of people to a better outcome willingly. Okay, so you need to be able to influence them. You need to motivate them on that journey. You need to tell them these are the expectations of what to expect and what I expect, and what are the standards that I'm going to be wanting. What is the quality that I expect in order for us to get to this new location? So, whatever that is in your work context, then how do we create the vision of what that looks like? And then we guide them towards the vision. I'd love to say that it's place A is where you are now, and place B is where you want to get to, and it will be a straight line. But it never works that way. There's always lines in between, and you go from A to B to C, and then finally you will get somewhere towards what you're hoping is the outcome. So remember that this is a journey, very much so, and it's never a straight line. So the next thing, let's take a look at some quotes about leadership. So one of the best management consultants is a guy by the name of Peter Drucker, and he says the only definition of a leader is someone who has followers. Now we've just heard about influencing, motivating, setting expectations, casting a vision, and guiding people towards the vision. Do you believe that that is a pure definition of leadership? Then Warren Bennis, he says leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. Okay, do you agree with that? Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, says as we look ahead into the next century, leaders will be those who empower others. As we look into the next century, leaders will be those who empower others. Okay, and then the last one is John Maxwell, who says leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. Now, when you say those things, they sound impressive, but are they fully being able to explore the concept of leadership? So let's take a look at that. Okay, so a definition of a leader is someone who has followers. Now, if you're a captain of a unit of 200 people and you don't engage and you stay in your office and you don't motivate and you don't influence and you don't cast a vision, are you truly a leader? Just because you are mandated to have people that follow you doesn't automatically make you a leader. So maybe that definition isn't pure. Then leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. Okay, so I have a vision for the garden. I might go out there and I might make it into my vision, but I'm not taking anyone with me. I'm not empowering anyone to be able to do it by themselves independently. So does that make me a leader? Okay, so many leaders decide to become lone rangers, and that doesn't influence a team. And so is that truly leadership? Then Bill Gates. As we look ahead into the next century, leaders will be those who empower others. But what about the vision? If you are just empowering people, what are you empowering them to do? You got to give them a vision. You got to move them somewhere. You need to be able to have an objective, a goal, and be able to make sure that that goal is actually finished. So maybe they've missed out the component of vision. And then John Maxwell said, leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. Now, if I had a gun and I held it to your head, I would have influence over you. I could make you do anything. But is that truly leadership? Do you need to do it willingly? Do you want to do it? Do I need to motivate you with different factors so that you feel like every morning I want to go and I want to achieve the goal? I want to work with others. I want to collaborate. I want to make them as good as they possibly can. And in that way, we're going to be able to achieve. So, all of those need to incorporate what we've just spoken about: vision, expectations, influencing, motivating, and guiding them in the direction of that goal. Okay. So, what are the qualities of a leader? Now, you would probably know a leader in your head that you could tell me 1,000 things about. But let's just take a look at some of the qualities of a leader. Things like integrity, clear goals, good example, setting a vision, clear communication, expects the best, supports, encourages, recognizes, that they create stimulating work, a stimulating work environment. They focus on the team interests and needs, and they are inspiration. Now, those are some of the qualities of a leader. You might be able to give me a whole bunch more. But we always need to analyze those who we think are good leaders and what makes them a good leaders. What are the qualities that they have? So these are some great leaders. Okay, so I'm going to sort of get myself out of this picture because I'm not a great leader. But ultimately, let's take a look at some of these. Okay, so we got Nelson Mandela. We have got Malala, who was the one who is an activist for women being educated and was shot in the process, but has recovered and is still a shining light for women's education and empowering women. Then we have the Dalai Lama, a source of all wisdom. We have Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple. We have Barack Obama, the first person of color to become president of the United States and still an absolute beacon of hope. Then we have Bishop Desmond Tutu, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, a man of incredible humility, but incredible leadership. Then we have Miss, now I must remember her name. So she's the climate change activist. She's been really empowering the youth to be able to stand up and say, hey, climate is an issue and we need to work for a better tomorrow. Her name is Greta Thunberg. That's her name, Greta Thunberg. And so she is a leader and she's young, but she's influences, she motivates, she sets a vision of a new tomorrow, of a new planet. And so she's a leader. Then we have Mahatma Gandhi, someone who led India into a place where they got independence, but he did that through nonviolent means. And so he stands as a shining example of what leadership can be. And then the man in the corner just above my head, his name is Elon Musk. He went to the Pretoria Boys High, but he is now in America and he's one of the foremost innovators. And he developed something called Tesla and SpaceX, the first commercially funded space program. And so he is a leader. He's very abrupt, he's very rude, but ultimately he gets things done. So, in many ways, he is a leader. So these are wonderful examples of leaders, and all of them have different characteristics, different qualities, but are classified as good leaders. All right, so those are some of the leaders that we like to follow. Next one. All right, so now you're going to go to your first formative section. So I want you in your groups, okay? So if you are doing this virtually, either connect with someone on WhatsApp or hopefully you're in the same room, discuss it with someone in the room. Say, okay, what are two other great leaders? Besides that list, who are two other great leaders? Why were they or are they great leaders? What is it about them? What characteristics, what qualities, what functions do they have that has inspired you and you list them now as great leaders? What qualities do they or did they have? So tell me about that. And then I want you to make notes of that discussion. So, section 1, page 5, go to formative 1.1 and do this exercise. Discuss two other great leaders. What is great about them? Why are they great leaders? What have they done? What are their qualities? And just expand on that. Make some notes and then do that. So I'm going to break off now. You switch off this video. Okay. You do formative section 1.1. And then when you are finished, you come back and do the next video. Okay. See you in a little bit.